Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we have another daily dose of Dismal Disney. A mother is suing Disney because her kid was scared by a Stormtrooper in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, so apparently, we'll go through the article, but apparently the kid got scared by a Stormtrooper and fell out of their stroller they were in. And there's no age, because so go from a small child up to like an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, because at Disney World, you know, I've seen teenagers in strollers. But they got scared, and now they're suing both Disney and the stroller company.
Okay, so this is like so typical, right? Disney, look, I get that they are ridiculous when it comes to lawsuits, the Walt Disney Company, but look at why they get sued, how they get sued, how often they get sued. I'd be ridiculous too. I'd be like, you know, everybody's going to sue us for like every ridiculous thing that happens in the park, even if it's self-inflicted. We're going to talk about it.
Well, in this case too, like they talk about the fact that kid was left unattended.
Yeah.
Allegedly, according to this article. So we're going to look at it. But before we get into any further,
please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
If you want more news and podcasts, go out to news.clownfishtv.com. We've got more content out there that we do not have on YouTube. That's news.clownfishtv.com. And this is coming from WDW News Today. Written by Gretchen McDermott. Mother suing Disney for her child being scared by a Stormtrooper in Galaxy's Edge. Because apparently, flipped his stroller and he got injured. So he's suing, or she's suing for the flipped stroller.
Yeah, but we don't know how old the child is, or they don't mention how much money or anything like that. So I'm not really sure where they got it from. I did try to look for it myself, but I wasn't seeing anything. So wherever they got it from, I don't know. But you can go ahead and look at this article because I've seen it already. You can talk about it.
Okay, so this was in 2023, because a lot of times, you know, when the lawsuits happen, it's, you know, years after the fact. And we talked about, you know, Typhoon Lagoon and that idiotic lawsuit where it was like, you know, the woman was like, oh my gosh, I got.
Oh yeah, but she actually might have scars from that. This one's just like a kid fell in a stroller.
Yeah, right. Well, then if that's the case, I mean, if you can sue for ridiculous stuff like this, like we have been injured at Disney so many times. Lifetime passes, Disney. We want lifetime.
Yeah, right.
You broke. We're gonna start a hate
daughter
channel.
Got injured. Yeah.
We're gonna complain about you on the internet. Megan Miller is a mother from Arizona. She filed a lawsuit against Disney earlier this month for an incident involving her child. According to the suit, Miller was in Disney's Hollywood studios on December 4th, 2023 with her kid. The report leaves the child unnamed. It clarifies the child is a minor. Okay. The lawsuit explains Miller's child was sitting in a stroller without an adult nearby.
Okay, it's right there. Without an adult nearby. Where were you? This is what gets me. And I see this. We've seen many stories before with kids just left there. We've had incidences where there's little kids left in strollers and the parents like go get in line for a ride and just leave the kids there. And again, without an adult nearby. So no adult was watching this kid in the stroller. Where were you? Why were you not with your child?
A performer dressed as a Stormtrooper in Galaxy's Edge approached him. The situation frightened the child, leading him to try to move away, causing the stroller to flip. The lawsuit said.
Probably the guy or girl in the Stormtrooper outfit was like, "Why is there a kid here by themselves?" And they probably went over to check out the situation and, you know, figure out why the kid's alone and if the kid's okay, as the cast members will do. And then, you know, kid got freaked out, which is understandable. I'm assuming it's a littler kid then, and then fell out of the stroller, flipped over on them.
I swear to God, I've seen 12-year-olds in strollers at Disney.
I have. No, I mean, sometimes there is instances like where they are special needs or they have some kind of, you know, medical need. And I'm not talking about those kids. Obviously, those kids need to be in strollers. I'm not talking about them. We're talking about the ones that are totally capable of walking, but mommy and daddy want to get to the rides faster and use it as a battering ram. So they shove the 10-year-old, the 6-year-old, the, you know, 12-year-old in the stroller and like, let's go. I've seen the kids pushing the mom in the stroller.
The lawsuit does not contain any details about how old the child was or why he was left unattended. The attorney did not respond to questions when WW News Today reached out for comment. Why would they? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be like, oh, hey, this theme park blog wants to, you know, have a conversation.
Kudos to them for reaching out for comment.
Yeah, I will give them that. But like, yeah, they're not going to respond.
That's
Miller accuses. Actual journalism, yeah. Miller accuses Disney of negligence, saying the aforesaid incident was caused by reasons of negligence of Disney in the training, supervision, and control of its employees in the interaction and approach of its characters with guests and children in the park.
I'm going to translate for this person. The incident was caused by the parent not being by the fucking stroller to begin with, so that the cast member approached probably out of concern, and the kid was unattended, if that was true. And it says the lawsuit said that it was. That was kind of the lawsuit. It said the lawsuit without an adult nearby. That's what the lawsuit said.
Miller's also suing Safe Mark Systems. That's ironic. Safe Mark Systems, the company that made the stroller her child was sitting in at the time of the accident, accusing them of having an unsafe product.
Again, if the mother wasn't there and no adults were nearby when it happened, how is it their fault? If you've been holding on to the stroller. Now we're talking like if the Stormtrooper saw the kid was upset and it came up aggressively and mom was like at the stroller like no stop, and they kept going, I'd think you'd have a maybe a case. Or if the stroller completely fell apart with the kid in it and dropped the kid on the ground because the Stormtrooper was nearby or whatever and it got scared, who knows, you might have a case. But this whole, it says right up here in the article, it said above here, it said that the lawsuit explains that her child was sitting in a stroller without an adult nearby.
Right.
It's in the lawsuit. If that's in the lawsuit, as is alleged in this article, then the incident was caused by the damn adult not being with their kid. Way to go, Mom.
I can just see the judge. But did you die? But did you die?
I mean, I'm sure the kid got injured if they fell on the pavement and they fell out the pavement and the stroller turned over on them. So I'm assuming the kid would have to be like younger, like 3 maybe.
Again, you're making that assumption. I have been injured in Disney because of strollers. I've been injured by a stroller. I broke my rib the one year because I tried to stop our daughter from getting run over by a stroller in Epcot. And I tripped and fell, and I broke a rib. I've broken the same rib.
You still have scars on your arm from it too.
I saw the scars.
And the irony
Mickey
was,
shaped.
The irony about the whole situation was there was no child in the stroller, and the guy
empty stroller. Yep.
Yeah, empty stroller, and there was nobody else around. Like he could have gone around us. He'd have gone any other way. He came right at us, and our daughter had to stop. Kneon had to stop short and also kind of grab her, and he ended up getting hurt really bad over it. And there was no one around us. The guy had plenty of room, but yet he still chose to go right at our daughter with an empty stroller. Probably drunk, probably drinking around the world. Who knows? But in this case, they made a point of saying that the stroller was the child was left unattended. And, if the child pulled himself over and the stroller fell on him enough to be injured, and they were scared enough on their own to be injured, I'm guessing it's a small child. I know you said this assumption, but as a mom and a teacher, I'm thinking it's a smaller child. And again, why did you leave a small child unattended? Or any child unattended? Yeah,
the judge will ask that because they'll also be like, did you sign up for Disney Plus?
I know, right? If that's the case, it's arbitration.
Do you have Disney Plus? No, they're going to be like, look, you took your kid, your small child, to a land you knew had costumed characters and aliens and stuff like that might be a little scary for them. And then you left them in the stroller. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to look for or get a settlement or something. If they get a settlement, they'll probably never be allowed to go back in the parks again because they sued Disney.
It's like, you're at the end, it's the employee's fault because they weren't trained in interaction. They probably, and I don't know this, I'm assuming, they probably were coming either they were heading that way for something else and they couldn't see the kid because of the masks and the kid got freaked out and fell out. Or if they were actually legitimately coming right up to the kid, they were probably coming right up to the kid like, oh, we got a child here, whereas, figured an adult was nearby and they weren't.
Well, I mean, I've elbowed children in the face before wearing a costume that I couldn't see out of.
That was true. One year in a parade, you were dressed as what were you dressed as?
Snowman. I was a snowman.
And a little kid ran up to get a hug, and Kneon didn't know she was there, and he literally elbowed her in the face. It was very. Our kids still speak of the incident to this day.
It's like, oh yeah,
she was okay.
I think until like years later, it's like
I'm going to sue you.
Yeah, show you therapy. Like I'm going to sue you. You're the
crippling fear of snowmen now, but
I couldn't say no because the costume, because the eye holes were so small and it was winter. Obviously we're doing it was like a Christmas parade and so you're breathing in this mask and I wear glasses just like the Avatar and it's like fogging up my glasses and I couldn't see. So
this person has screens in front of their eyes too. Anyway, So they said the lawsuit doesn't describe the extent of the child's injuries other than saying he has medical bills. Medical expenses have been incurred and are owed due to the accident on December 4th, the lawsuit said, adding that Miller suffered economic losses. The losses are either permanent or continuing, and plaintiff will suffer the losses in the future.
Jimmy
so you're
pees
trying to
his-
argue what?
I was gonna say Jimmy pees his pants every time he watches a Disney Star Wars movie.
I'm just
So do I. Can I sue?
Because I mean, it's like
I
the
shit my
losses
pants
are
every time
permanent,
I
are either permanent or continuing, which implies that they have like some kind of lifelong, like debilitating something now from falling out of the stroller because of the stormtrooper after they were left unattended
Oh
by
my
their
God.
parents.
So
According to the suit.
this isn't the only one. This is so they actually cover the lawsuits over here on WW News today. That like I mean I don't want to use the term ambulance chaser, but they have all the police reports and all that stuff, which is actually kind of cool.
They do, yeah.
Because they tend to get it before anybody else. But they said that they had another lawsuit. Apparently, it's been settled because one of their water parks is Blizzard Beach. Somebody had claimed they had a permanent catastrophic injury because I think they were too fat to fit in the inner tube or something.
Apparently, yeah, they were above the weight limit, and so I guess they were on a downhill double dipper, and they said they had a post weight limit of 300 pounds, and this person weighed 334 pounds, and supposedly, the inner tube fell off of him. I don't understand exactly what happened, but the inner tube flew off of him or something. According to the lawsuit, when sliding down, the guy became momentarily airborne as a result of the ride's exhilarating speeds and design, resulting in Disney's inner tube becoming forcibly, suddenly, and unexpectedly dislodged from underneath his body. Hey, at least it's better than the lady that unexpectedly had her swimsuit forcibly lodged up her hoo-ha and had to have surgery.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was Blizzard Beach, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Blizzard Beach or Typhoon, but they said that as a result, he landed on the surface of the slide and is now suffering from permanent catastrophic injuries.
So they're gonna be like, I can't wait for their next water park, Disney's Action Park.
Disney's Action Park.
That's gonna be the next one. Yeah.
I guess other people commented on this one and said that it was not marked for weight limit. I don't know if it was or not, but in the article about the mom, and they mentioned the other lawsuit, they said that the other reporters personally confirmed there are no actual weight limits posted for any of the slides at Blizzard Beach, but they did get a tentative settlement apparently.
Well, okay, so yeah, so what would happen?
That was a discrimination lawsuit.
Oh, that was a discrimination lawsuit. Okay,
that
so
was
yeah,
the one about women not getting paid as much
God.
in Disneyland. So there's no settlement on that one. I don't
No,
think.
okay, so
you got that confused.
I did get that confused. There's so many lawsuits at Disney, I can't keep them straight. So here's the thing though, if they posted a weight limit, people would complain about discrimination.
They would, but there's
They
weight
already
limit
do
for a
on
reason.
some of the rides because they do on some of the rides. They're like, I remember when the light cycle power, what are they called? The Tron light cycle power run ride coaster thing.
Tron coaster.
The Tron coaster. As everybody just calls it, the Tron ride. When that came over, people had to see if they could fit in the cycles, and same with Avatar. A lot of people were concerned they couldn't fit on the ride vehicles on Avatar. And then there was, a lot of accusations of like, well, they're being ableist and blah, 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 blah. Hey, I can't fit in the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train because I'm too tall. It's incredibly painful.
Well, you fit, but it's very painful.
Yeah, because my feet don't touch the floor. So I have my knees like on the back of, and I'm sure it's great for whoever's in front of me. I have my knees on the back on their headrest, and it's awful for me. And I've got back issues to begin with. So like, it's a terrible, I call it the mind pain. It's a terrible ride.
He calls it the mind pain.
But I haven't sued Disney. I just can't ride it. I'm too tall.
Splash Mountain, you called it Smash Mountain because you broke your phone at the bottom of it, when when you slammed down the chair, you didn't sue him for that.
We have lost so many cell phones at Disney. Our daughter broke her phone trying to get to Pandora.
That's when she got trampled.
She got trampled. We thought, then when we're in Disneyland, we're getting ready to go to the airport. We thought we couldn't find our daughter's cell phone. And this is like her first cell phone. And she was kind of young. So we're like, okay, we're trusting you with the cell phone. Couldn't find it. She's kind of in hysterics, and we saw it. So we have the Apple, where's my iPhone? And it's like moving all around like the resort, and then it's like going down the street. We're like, did somebody steal her phone? Are we watching it? Like somebody steal my daughter's, like, what was it, like a pink pink cell phone?
Short answer is no. The internet was shitting itself, and it made it look like the phone was being moved all over. However, we did retrieve your phone once when you left it on Oh, what was it?
Star Tours.
Star
It jiggled-
Tours.
Yeah, it jiggled out of my pocket. And we're like, and the cast members were trying to tell me, like, we don't have it. I'm like, I can see it. I can
It's
see it on my
here.
phone. It's moving. It's right here. It's in the back of this building. I know it's here.
Then you walked almost the whole way back to the hotel, and then they called and said, "Oh, we found your phone. It's here." And it's like, we know it's there. Anyway,
My wallet, one time I had to go all the way to Lost and Found in Disney Spring to go get my wallet because somebody picked it up immediately after it
well,
fell in
that's
my
good
pocket.
though.
Yeah, it's good, but it was like I literally went back because I'm like, oh, it probably fell out of my pocket on the way into Space Mountain. I went back and it was gone.
If
Somebody
you
just
had
picked
asked
it
a
up
cast
immediately.
member, they probably would have had it. But anyway, point is, that's actually a good thing though. Point is though, there's lots of reasons we could have technically gone after Disney for stupid things, but then why waste the time? Why waste Disney's time? It's not their fault. And I'm not saying this person wasn't hurt. I'm not saying this child wasn't injured, but I have some questions, especially when they specify, at least by this article, that the law, I don't have the actual link to the lawsuit to look myself, but it said the lawsuit stated that the child was unattended. You cannot leave your child alone in a stroller at the parks.
No.
And then they're going to say, who's at fault? There's fault to be shared here.
Yeah, they need to. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can kind of see the logic in them making it harder to sue them because they get sued for the dumbest damn thing. This is like people that will like throw themselves down in front of Walmart and be like, oh, it's a big corporation, I'm suing. And it's like.
Well, I mean, if the guy got hurt on the water slide because it wasn't posted about a weight limit, how would he know that? You know what I mean? There's a weight limit. Well, if you don't post it, no one knows that. If it was posted, that's different. And just like the lady that got a wedgie that caused
The
female
atomic wedgie.
Yeah, that caused female damage and surgery. There are signs around, but that's another case of where, unless something was clearly marked that it could cause harm, how would you know that? And there's all many other people went down the water slide with swimsuits on and they were fine. There's a lot of different things that could go wrong here. And sometimes I think they're at fault and sometimes they're not. But anyway, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, guys. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Again, go out to news.clownfishtv.com.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I just thought of something. It is absolutely horrible. I don't know if I should even say it.
Oh, then you definitely should say it.
I guess that Stormtrooper did miss.
Oh. There's that immersion we've been looking for. All right. Gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Bye. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.